Hey everybody, what I've got here is the Stealth Angel 2-person emergency survival bag, and we're going to check it out right now on Kitbashed Survival. Alright, so I bought this on the Stealth Angel website. They didn't give it to me or anything like that, and it cost me $120. And it's intended to support 2 people for, I would assume, around 72 hours or so. So we'll jump right in. The bag is very nicely made, kind of a canvas Cordura type of bag. This color is called Olive Camo, I believe. I think they've got like 5 or 6 colors you can get. Red, green, black, different versions of camo. So they've got a wide selection. And it seems pretty well made from what I can tell. Big zippers. They're not YKK or anything, but they're nice and big and rugged. Let's see how much this thing weighs. Alright, so get it to stay on the scale. Looks like 10 pounds, 12 ounces, not bad. So we've got lots of pockets. I'm not sure if they're all full of stuff, but lots of storage opportunities. And there's lots of loops and so forth all over the place. Got 2 shoulder straps, got some D-rings on there. Got a little storage back here. There's nothing down in there, but that's nice. Nice handle for carrying if it's not on your back. Cut this off. Stealth Angel is your #1 source of essential outdoors, camping, hiking, adventure, emergency, and survival equipment. Our products have been hand-selected by our team of experts to get you through any type of situation the best way possible. We are a proud American-owned and operated team of enthusiasts who pride ourselves on our world-class customer service and products. Now, they're an American company, but obviously most of this stuff is probably not made here in the USA. Although it might be packed here in the USA, who knows? And they are right, they do have a wide selection of stuff on their site. They've got all sorts of survival gear, from 1 person up to 5, 6, even more people. So yeah, lots of choices on their site. I got the 2-person because it's just me and my girlfriend here, so this made the most sense. Alright, we'll go ahead and open up some of these pouches. So there's this small pouch up front. We've got some Velcro and some webbing here for attachments if needed. Doesn't feel like there's anything in here, and there's not, which is good. We've got an empty pouch for adding stuff, because we are certainly going to add stuff to this bag at the end of this video. I always like a kit that has extra space for adding your own gear. You know, a kit with no extra space, in my opinion, is not always a good thing, because you're almost always going to want to add some additional gear just to make it that much better and to customize it for your own needs. So in this front pouch, we've got SOS emergency rations. These are those little ration cookie bars. They're not bad. 6 servings per container, 410 calories per serving. So roughly 2,400 calories per pack. So we got 2,400 and then another 24 for 4,800. Which might not seem like a lot for 2 people for 3 days, but as I've said many times on this channel, food is the least important thing in a survival situation. It's a nice thing to have, but your body can go quite a while without food. So while this isn't a ton, it's enough to get you going, and you will survive. Got some pockets there for pins and utensils and stuff like that. Big pocket behind that. Not bad. Put these back in here for now. And then we've got the main pouch. No, actually there's 2 pouches. Okay, there's a pouch back here, so a lot of stuff in here. Let's pull this out and we'll examine it. Okay, so this looks like first aid, personal hygiene kind of stuff. So we've got first aid travel kit. Pull here. Okay. And looks like just a bunch of band-aids. Small. Got little spot band-aids. Yeah, just varying sizes of band-aids. Looks like quite a lot. non-stick gauze pad, and then a pretty large Band-Aid. That's the largest Band-Aid in there. Not bad, a good supply of Band-Aids. What else do we have in here? Aqua tabs. Okay, water purification. Good. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We got 20 water purification tabs. Each of these will purify 1 liter of water. So 20 liters worth of water purification tablets. That's good. I will probably add to the water purification situation here at the end of this video, so just know that. We got 2 masks. KN95. And this looks like personal hygiene stuff, yeah. So we've got 2 very basic toothbrushes, toothpaste, fresh mint, razor, not bad. Wow, we got shaving cream to go with the razor. That is pretty luxurious, I gotta say. Wow. Conditioning shampoo, sheesh. 2 packs of shampoo, wow. And it's shampoo with conditioner. That's nice. Got a bar of soap, deodorant soap, pack of Kleenex, and 1, 2, 3, 4 moist towelettes. That's not bad. I mean, for personal hygiene, I mean, personal hygiene is kind of a luxury in a survival situation to begin with. So the fact they've got all this stuff in here is pretty cool, I think. And one thing to keep in mind is that even though this may seem very luxurious, one of the purposes of these type of emergency bags is not, you know, the end of the world where you're in the woods surviving, but stuff like earthquakes and floods and stuff where you have to leave your home. You might go to a hotel or a shelter or somewhere. So having some personal hygiene materials is actually a pretty good idea. And I think most people who watch this channel, when they think about survival, they're like, oh, I'm in the woods. I don't need shampoo, but a lot of survival happens in hotels and shelters after someone's home has been destroyed or is in danger of being destroyed. All right, then we've got this big bag. This looks like sort of protection from the elements kind of stuff. Let's find out. All right. First up, we've got nice big pair of safety goggles. There's just one, but I think that's okay. I mean, if there's 2 of you, the chances of both of you needing the safety goggles at the same time, probably pretty slim. We got 2 emergency blankets, 84 by 52. We've got 2 big hand warmer things, multifunction warmers. These are those kind that you expose to air and they heat up. Nice. And I like how they're big, just multi-purpose warmers. You can put them in your sleeping bag, in your tent, in your bed, in your jacket, wherever. And we got 2 emergency ponchos for rain. And, of course, we've got a portable radio. It's one of those crank radios, I'm betting. Stealth Angel portable radio. With LED light and USB charging for mobile devices, hand crank, solar power, charge, discharge protection, USB charging, LED lighting, AM, FM weather band radio, USB charger for mobile phones, and water resistant. So yeah, your basic emergency radio. And you've seen these before. Some have a digital display. This has an analog one, which is fine. I kind of like that. There's a little bit of juice in there. Got the light. It's got an alarm. Okay. Solar panel there. Antenna. Let's see if the radio works.
News and talk.
It's 11:52 in the Coolray Carrier 24-hour traffic center, and there's a work.
So that was FM. We also got AM and weather band. I'm probably not going to pick up much in the weather band because of interference in the house, but I'm sure it works. Yeah, not bad at all. And then we got the micro USB for charging this thing up, and then a USB for charging cell phones and whatnot. And then, of course, you've got your crank in case you need to generate a little power. Got some instructions here. Tell you how to do everything, including radio frequencies. Wonder how many milliamps this thing is. Okay. 2,000 milliamps, so not great, but in a pinch, you know, you could charge your phone off of it, maybe get one charge. Oh, and there's the micro USB charging cable. Okay, that's all the stuff that's in this pouch. And again, there's a little empty space in here. There's some mesh pockets and so forth, so that's nice. All right, and now on to the main event, the main compartment. Another mesh pocket in here and a zipper pouch for extra storage. All right. Looks like we got a lot of water, which is good. Sort of, although it takes up a lot of space. So I guess this is one bag per person. And each bag has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags of water, and each bag is 4.227 ounces, so roughly 25 ounces of water. And there's another 6 here, so 25 ounces of water per person, which actually isn't too bad for getting started. Now, understand, the purpose of this is not to have all the water you need for up to 3 days. This is enough to get you started until you can find other sources of clean water, hence why they have the water purification pills in there. But to start off with 25 ounces of water per person is not bad. It does take up a lot of space. That's the only downside of that, but really not so bad. And in an emergency, like an earthquake or flood or something, you may have contaminated water in the city where you live, and something like this is a big deal. Having that first batch of clean water just to get you started until you can find more potable water. All right, and then here is the final bag. So we got one of these Chinese specials. I've seen these before. Oh, brother. Got a glow stick. We've got survival paracord. So this is one of those paracord bracelets, which, you know. Okay, so it's 550 paracord, built-in whistle on the buckle, flint fire starter and scraper, and super strong cord. So, yeah. So you've seen these before. If you undo all this cord, you've probably got, I don't know, does it say how many feet? 10 feet of 550 paracord. But it's quite a lot of work to undo all this, so I will almost assuredly add some 550 paracord to this bag, just to make it easier to access and to have more of it. But, you know, you got that little whistle there. It's okay. I mean, it'll get someone's attention. And then you got the scraper and the ferro rod right here. And, you know, it works. It's better than nothing. I'll say that. It's better than nothing. I will definitely improve that situation. And then, yeah, the China special. If you look on Amazon, you'll see these things all over the place. There's some factory in China that'll make these. They'll slap your label on it, and they'll give you a choice of what you can put in here. So let's see what Stealth Angel has opted to have in their little kit. Ooh, look at that. The most high-quality survival gear ever. So what do we have? All right. We got a pen. Looks like a pen. Let's see. Yep. So there's your pen. Let's see how it writes. Yeah, it writes. And we got a glass breaker on that end. It's all metal. It's okay. We got a flashlight or a torch. I don't think there's a battery inside, so... yeah, no battery. Let me see if I can go grab a AA battery. Okay, here's a battery, AA. It's unfortunate that they don't provide a battery, at least not that I've seen. Because in an emergency, you know, you might not remember to grab batteries, and it's always good to have them in your emergency kit. It would suck to get out there, and all of a sudden you say, well, I don't have any batteries for this flashlight. It's a paperweight at that point. Now, granted, you do have the light on the radio, so that is something, but it would be nice if they had included a battery or batteries in this bag. So, looks like there's bright, dim, and then flash. So it works. Now, here's a little trick I do. If you want to make sure that the flashlight doesn't turn on while it's in the bag, just grab a scrap piece of paper and then stick it down there on the top of the battery, and that way it can't make contact with the terminal and it can't turn on accidentally while it's in the bag, but you've got a good battery in there ready to go. All right, so after that, okay, here's a larger fire steel. That's good. Got a nice big ferro rod and a striker. Let's see if I can get this thing. Yeah, works just fine. We've got a button light. Okay, well, that's the third light in this bag. I guess that's good, especially with two people. So we got one of those guys. And you should be able to flip it on. Yeah, there it goes. So you can do momentary if you want, or keep it on like that. You see these in micro survival kits a lot. It's not bad. It's one LED. It's got a keychain on it. So, yeah. We got a real whistle. That's good. Yep. Works just fine. Got a compass of some sort. It's non-liquid filled. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it works. That way is southwest, so it works. Good enough. And then we've got one of these dreaded multi-tool things. Oh boy. I must have a million of these in my gearbox in this room. A can opener, a knife edge, a screwdriver, a ruler, a cap opener, a 4-position wrench, a butterfly wrench, a saw blade, a direction ancillary indication, a 2-position wrench, and a lanyard hole. Yeah. All I'll say about these things is that it's better than nothing. Okay? That's what I can say about a lot of the stuff in this box. It's better than nothing. And given a choice of nothing or the contents of this little box, I'll take this any day. And that is all the stuff in the China Special. So, you know, it is what it is. Now the real trick, can I get this stuff back in here? Okay, I think we're on the last couple items. So we've got a pair of work gloves. Good to see. It'd be nice if there were 2 pairs, but they'll work just fine. They seem pretty rugged. Nice leather. And then we've got, we got a tube tent. Okay. Emergency shelter. Okay, you know, so we got the shelter covered. Got some space blankets, and we've got a tube tent. Again, it's better than nothing. It's not great, it's not glamorous, but it's better than nothing. And that is all the stuff in this bag. All right, so what do I think of the Stealth Angel 2-person emergency survival bag? You know, all in all, I think it's okay. Now, this is one of those bags that falls into that category of, if you're a survival enthusiast like I am and like a lot of the people who watch this channel are, this is probably not for you. You'll be able to build one better on your own and probably for less money than what we have here. But if you're like the 99% of other people who don't enjoy building their own survival kits and you just want something off the shelf that you can throw in a closet or throw in the trunk of your car, you know, it's okay. You could do a lot worse. It does cover the basics, and, you know, for a few days, it will allow you to survive. It might not be fun, but you will survive. And the $120 price tag, I'm okay with that. I think that's reasonable, given that Stealth Angel is a business. They do need to make a profit, and they are doing all the work for you by packing this thing. So I think that's a fair price tag. Like I've said many times before, you'll always save money if you build a kit yourself. But for an off-the-shelf solution, I think $120 is completely reasonable. However, if you are going to buy one of these things, I would strongly recommend not using it as is. You know, don't just buy it and throw it in the closet and forget about it. I would recommend customizing it. You know, use it as a starting point to make your own customized kit that's going to be better than this one and also have stuff that you need. You know, your bag always needs to be customized for your needs and your environment. You know, a survival bag for someone living in northern Canada is going to be a lot different than someone living in the Mojave Desert or someone like me who lives in the southeast. So don't ever buy one of these things and then just throw it in the closet and forget about it. It's always best to, you know, open it up, inspect it, make sure everything's there, and then add gear to it and customize it for your needs. And that way, when you need it, it's got everything that you will need. And that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to add some gear to this kit to make it better than it is and to customize it for my needs. So I'm going to do this modification in two phases. Phase one will be some basic gear that you can add for not a lot of money. I'm going to have a budget of $60 for phase one. And, you know, it would have been $50 a few years ago, but with inflation, we'll make it 60. So for $60, I'm going to add some basic gear to make this kit better than it is now. And then after that, we'll add to that, sort of throw in the kitchen sink for phase two to make this kit as good as I can make it. So for the stuff I can add for under $60, I'm going to start off with the most important thing, and that is some water gear. So this is a Sawyer Mini that will allow some water filtration. Filters up to 100,000 gallons. Comes with its own dirty water bag, so it's all self-contained. And I'll also add some of these Whirlpack 1-liter stand-up water bags for water storage. There's 6 of these in here. For some fire gear, I'm going to add a Bic lighter and a book of matches. I'm going to add a AA battery for that flashlight. I'm going to add a real knife to this kit, so this is a Mora Companion. I chose orange because it's got high visibility. If you drop it on the ground, you can see it. These are very nice, and these run about 16 bucks or so. Really good knife for the money. I'm going to add some 550 paracord from Walmart. This was $5, and it's 50 feet of it. Again, orange for high visibility. And for all sorts of miscellaneous stuff, I've got a black trash bag. Everybody's got one of these around the house. This is a contractor bag. It's a little more heavy duty, but any old black trash bag will do. You can use these to gather water. You can use it for shelter. You could use it as a ground cloth, or you could use it as a makeshift poncho, all sorts of stuff. I'm going to add a couple tea light candles that I got at the dollar store. And then I've got a few packs of salt. You could just use regular table salt in a Ziploc bag, but I've got these little packets, and this will help with dehydration if necessary. And then right here, I've got some medicines that I had lying around the house. So I've got 12 ibuprofens, 6 Benadryls, and 3 famotidines. That's a medication for heartburn and stomach problems. And I'll also add 3 Imodiums for diarrhea. Oh, almost forgot these. On the waterfront, these are Melita coffee filters. If I can't use the filter that I'm adding, I can always use these to filter out sediment if I have to gather water from a lake or a stream or what have you. And then we'll also add a couple pieces of tinfoil. Everybody's got some of this around the house, so I've got a couple 12 by 12 sheets of tinfoil here. You could use these for cooking food or a rudimentary cup for drinking water, anything you want. All right, so that's it for my under $60 mods. Now, before I add anything else, I want to make sure I can fit all this into the bag. And I think what I might do is actually disassemble this little box because it takes up a lot of space. Yeah, it takes up a lot of space, and I can store these things elsewhere in the kit. So getting that gear into the bag wasn't that big of a challenge, but now I want to try to cram as much useful gear into this bag as possible. And let me show you what I've got behind the camera. I've got a bin of all the gear I want to try to get into the bag, and there it is. So I want to try to get all of this into that, which is going to be a challenge. Now, to free up some space, I think what I might do is remove some of those bags of water, because those are taking up a lot of space. And now that we have the Sawyer, I don't think we need all of those bags of water. Yeah, you want to have some just to get you started until you can secure a source of water, but I don't think we need all of those, and that will free up some vital space. So let's get going. Here's what I want to try to put into the bag from that bin you just saw. And I'm going to try to do this by category, but you saw the bin, it's all kind of thrown in there, so here goes. I'd like to add another pair of gloves. This is one of those rubberized pair of work gloves that you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's. They're very inexpensive. I think I bought a 10-pack and it was like $8 or $10. I'm going to amp up the shelter situation with this Outdoor Products Backpackers tarp that I got at Walmart. I think these are $10, very affordable. And it's a 5x7 tarp. Not huge, but it'll go a long way to increasing the shelter situation with this bag. On the food and drink side of things, I'm going to start by adding this portable stove. I got this out of a Russian MRE, and it's got the little folding stove and 3 fuel tabs. And I like these because they're very compact and lightweight. I'm going to add a couple of aluminum cups. These are those ball aluminum cups you can buy at the stores these days. You know, they tout them as being more environmentally friendly than plastic cups, which I think they are. These are the 9-ounce version, so there's 2 of them. So you can use them for drinking, obviously, but they're metal, so you can cook with them as well, or heat water up, or what have you. Then I got a couple of these, and these are neat. I thought these would come in handy for either boiling water or cooking food. And these are actually part of a medicine that I take. I have asthma, and one of the medications that I take is called Brio. It's a little inhaler thing that you use every day. And it's packaged in this little metal tin. There's no medicine in the tin, it's just packaged in there. And so I've got about 1 million of these, and I like to use them on my workbench to keep up with small parts and stuff, but I thought they'd be great just for cooking food if you need to. You know, if you catch some fish or something, there you go. And speaking of fish, well, here's a survival fishing kit compact version made by Best Glide ASE. And then I've got just a couple food items. I don't like to add too much food to a kit because, as I said before, you can go quite a while without food. It's not as big a necessity as people think. It's not as important as water, that's for sure. So I've got 6 Jolly Ranchers, just for a little bit of candy, sugar, morale boost. Got 6 packets of freeze-dried coffee because I'm a caffeine fiend. My girlfriend is, and if I don't have caffeine, I'm going to be in bad shape. And just in case, I've got a little thing of whiskey. And this can be used for all sorts of stuff. It can be an antiseptic if you need it. It can be an anesthetic, or it can help you sleep, or just help you relax. Always good to have if you have the room. I'm going to add a multi-tool. This is it right here. This is a Leatherman Surge. This is a badass Leatherman. It's got pretty much everything you need in it. Scissors, knife, saw, pliers, of course. The Leatherman Surge, that'll go a long way. To add to the fire situation, I've got one of these little fire starting logs, Extreme Start Fire Starter, made by Pine Mountain. You can get those at the grocery store. I got a little pencil sharpener. You can shred up a little piece of wood and make some tinder with it. And a couple pieces of fat wood to also help start a fire. On the signaling end of things, I've got quite a few items. So I've got a waterproof notebook, got a pencil, just in case that pen fails. And you can also shred this up with the pencil sharpener to both sharpen the pencil and make wood shavings to start a fire. Got a Sharpie. Got a second glow stick to add to the bag. This one glows yellow. Got about 8 feet of orange signal tape here. Got a good whistle. And a signal mirror. Obviously, I'll take this out of the packaging to save space. Oh, and I've got this little package of 6 mini glow sticks. And these can be used for extra light or as breadcrumbs to mark a trail where you've been. And a little liquid-filled compass to supplement the one that's already in the bag. Got 4 zip ties, some duct tape. I've got 3 thick black rubber bands, a Dermasafe razor knife, And I've got quite a few items in the toiletry first aid department, so I've got some toothpick thingies that come in a little case, 2 little packs of TP, a couple packs of wet wipes, a couple of these Coleman expanding towels. These are the kind that you get wet and they expand. A pair of nitrile gloves. And then in the tech department, since we've already got a power bank with a solar panel on it in the bag, I decided to add one of these emergency phone charger things. This is an iPhone version. That'll give you a charge on your phone. So that gives us 2 power banks to charge our phones. Got a phone charging cable for my iPhone. This is a lightning cable. And a wall wart for the phone cord and the cord for the radio, because you never know, you might get access to power at some point and you could use that to charge your phone and charge the radio. I mean, just because it's an emergency doesn't mean there's no power. You could be in a hotel or a shelter or someplace like that. So got a headlamp to help the lighting situation. This is a Duracell headlamp that I got at Costco. I think there were 3 for $20. It was a great deal. And it also came with 3 AAA batteries for it. And even though the Leatherman has a saw, I've got a little portable wire saw too. It's not great, but it's better than nothing. And because I might be using this with my girlfriend, I've got a few emergency tampons I'll put in here. And if she doesn't need them, or if she's not with me, I can always use them as tinder to help build a fire. And last but not least, because I know people will freak out if I don't put one of these in the bag, here's a tourniquet, a SWAT T tourniquet. Boy, you don't put a tourniquet in a bag and people just lose their minds. And by the way, I've said this before, but the reason most off-the-shelf survival bags don't come with tourniquets is because it's a big fat liability for them, because if you don't know how to use a tourniquet, you could actually do more harm than good. You need to know how to use one before you pack one. All right, now comes the hard part. I got to try to fit all of this stuff into this bag, and I don't know if it's going to fit, but we're about to find out. All right, so I've got a couple Ziploc bags in case I need to bag anything up into categories. So I'm going to start by removing some of this water, like I said. So this is 6 bags. I'm going to remove these 6. That leaves 6 bags in there. That's 12 ounces per person until you can find some additional water. And that'll free up a lot of room for gear. And now that I've got it all packed in there, I just realized I forgot a few food-related items. So first, I want to add some utensils, and I'll just add these little utensil packs. They've got a fork, spoon, knife, napkin, and some salt and pepper, which is nice. And I'll also add about 6 feet of snare wire, just in case. Okay, wow. It all fit. I mean, it's a tight fit, but it's all in there. And we still have the looping and webbing on the outside of the pack if we want to add anything else. For example, if you wanted to attach a dry bag of some extra clothes, you know, socks, underwear, stuff like that, you could attach it to the outside of the bag. The last thing I'm going to do, well, first thing I'll do is make sure I can buckle this thing shut. Yeah, there we go. So the last thing I'm going to do is attach this little Chicago screw to the webbing here for the knife. That way I can either hang it like this or hang it on the screw, and then it'll dangle back and forth and be a little easier to disconnect. So take my Swiss Army knife and poke a little hole in the webbing like that. Put the screw up to the other side. I'll tighten it. And there we go. And that way, if I want to, because it can be a little difficult to detach the sheath once it's on this webbing, which is good, but if you need to detach it in a hurry, that's what the Chicago screw is for. So let me get this out. There we go. And then we can, there's a little clip on the back of here. And now it'll hang like that. Pretty cool. Wow, but we got it all to fit, and I didn't even have to use any of the external attachment areas, which, like I said, you could attach all sorts of other stuff to as well if you wanted to. So that's going to do it for now. The Stealth Angel 2-person emergency survival bag, made even better with some additional gear. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd like to know what you have to say. For now, that's it. I'm Eric Siegel. This is Kitbashed Survival. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.